So earlier today, I texted someone a really long paragraph, and they just replied with a one-word answer, and that put me in a kind of downer mood. And so I thought, yo, I have all these stuffed animals, and I'm kind of obsessed with Wattpad, like the idea of it, and it's so funny to me. I was like, you know what? I have all these IP stuffed animal characters. What if I just put someone down with another person on Wattpad and see what search results yield interesting topics, interesting stories. And so I searched up Yoda and Edna, because I have Edna here, Queen, married to Wyatt. They're a really happy couple. And Yoda. And while I did not get the search results I thought I was gonna get, I got something even interesting-er. Love at First Sight, a Yoda and Nicki Minaj fan fiction. Yay! I read part of it, and it is the funniest thing. And and we're gonna make this an interesting read, cause it's something. And I like Star Wars, so I feel like it wouldn't be in any way acceptable of me to not do this professionally. Yoda comes to Earth, joins the dark side, and abandons the Jedi Order. Everything is in chaos throughout the galaxy. This is a comedy fanfiction for all ages 1 through 100. There isn't anything inappropriate in this story, as almost 99% of the population assumes, just judging by the title of this book. I do not own any of these characters or people. This is a fanfiction. This book is rated G for all audiences, disregarding of your age. This is very child appropriate. My name is Yoda, and I'm not gonna do it. At least I used to be. I decided to betray the Jedi Order to join the dark side. I'm in a much happier place now that I am evil. I plan on going to Earth tonight. Off to a great start. So much is happening. The council thinks that I am traveling to Mustafar to visit the Republic base there, but I'm actually bolting off to Earth. Heh. I plan on convincing Mace Windu and Obi-Wan Kenobi to join the dark side and to come with me to Earth. I will tell them that they can join me on my journey to Mustafar, but will instead go to Earth, where I will spill them the truth. That they're going to Earth? That is like evil. I'm excited to see evil Yoda. What is that gonna look like? At exactly 10 p.m., I decided to engage my plan. So happy that across all of the universe, we all have the same time system. I knocked on Obi-Wan's door with my cane. He answers it happily. What a loser. Master Yoda! What a surprise, he exclaimed. Yeah, whatever, I thought. I could probably whip this guy's butt with just one move. I'd like to see it. Obi-Wan, do you want to join me on my journey to Mustafar? I asked, using my fake Yoda voice like I always use whenever I talk to people. It's just not Frank Oz. What is his voice then? Is it like Scottish? Really high-pitched? Obi-Wan frowned. No, why? He told me. Anger rushes out of my skull. Did that weekly just tell me no way? I decided it was time to go with Plan B. I took out a huge brown big bag from my knapsack and held it in front of myself. Nice bag, Master Yoda, he commented. What is this? He commented nervously. Obi-Wan, are you positive that you do not want to come with me? I asked, trying not to let my anger rush out of me. I have never been so sure in my life. Are you sure? Wrong choice. I threw my cane against the wall angrily. Yoda, you seem very... I smacked him across the face 20 times and it kicked him until he fainted. I took him and threw him into the huge brown bag. Ooh! That was Plan B. Kidnapping never fails. Wait, so there's a plan for the plan? Time to visit Mace Windu. I dragged my way all the way to Mace Windu's suite. Oh geez, Obi-Wan was really heavy. I knocked on his door and waited impatiently for Mace Windu to answer it. After about 10 minutes of knocking. 10 minutes? If he's evil now, why doesn't he just barge in? Master Windu, I can hear you, I rasped, clinging onto the door. Obi-Wan muffled angrily inside the bag. Master Yoda! You're insane! He cried, rustling loudly inside. I kicked the bag, clenching my teeth. Ah! Shut up, Obi-Wan! You are the insane one! Mace Windu wasn't evil, but I don't have a purple lightsaber, and red is the closest shade to purple, so bear with me. Mace Windu opened the door just a crack. I pulled the brown bag over his head and pushed him into the bag. Haha, nice joke, Mace Windu laughed. I pretended to laugh along. Mace, you know that Master Yoda has just kidnapped us, Obi-Wan told him gloomily as I dragged him along the hallway inside of the temple. I kicked the bag and Mace Windu stopped laughing. Well, was he just laughing the whole time? Yoda, I would advise you to let us out, or else Obi-Wan and I will have to inform the council of your wrongdoings, Mace Windu screamed. Like I would be stupid enough to let those blasted idiots out of my sight. Try you not, I said, using my fake Yoda voice again. Why did it have to be fake? I could hear those two sigh loudly. Yoda, this isn't funny. This isn't funny, Mace Windu told me as I threw them onto my Jedi Ace fighter that sat on the platform. Laughing I am! I tried my best to laugh, but ended up coughing instead. He just has some asthma. It's not his fault. Yoda, I think you are dying, Obi-Wan remarked with concern. He's just coughing. I started the engine to my ship. Shut up, peasants! I'm trying to pilot a ship, I screeched. Mace Windu made a sound that sounded like someone who passed gas in harmony. What? Huh? Completely disgusting for my handsome face. Master Yoda, you haven't piloted a ship in 50 years, he cried. I ignored him and blasted my ship off into the dark, vast space above us. Then all of a sudden, I heard a slight hum of a lightsaber. Angrily, I spun around to see Obi-Wan standing there, grasping onto my chair. Master, I'm afraid you have gone way too far, he told me, pointing his lightsaber at me. I cackled. A fool you are. Mace Windu stares calmly at us. How could he act so calm? I'd like to know that too. I believe Master Kenobi is right, Master Yoda. You have gone way too far, he told me in a calm voice. How did I go too far? I am Master I am Master Yoda. I am a genius. I am supposed to be their superior and criticizing them for everything they do, not them judging me. Have I never been more offended? I shrieked, grasping onto the controls. The ship tilted sideways, and I felt myself panic. Why did you kidnap us? Where are you taking us? Mace Windu cried. I gagged. I'm so sorry. Obi-Wan pressed the lightsaber against my throat, and I shrieked. Tell us, or we'll have to eliminate you. Isn't it illegal to kill people if you're a Jedi? I sighed. Fine, you fools. I am going to planet Earth, I hissed angrily. Mace Windu crossed his arms across his chest. Why are you going to that planet? He asked me. I blushed. I could feel my wrinkly skin turning bright red. Well, I watched a video of True Music of Passion, and there was this really hot lady in the jungle. I yearned to see the face of the Snake Lady of Passion, I exclaimed. Mace Windu and Obi-Wan stared at me horrified. You mean the Anaconda Lady? Mace Windu asked. I blushed again. Yes, that's her. Obi-Wan threw up into the brown bag. You have gone way too far, Master Yoda. To the point where I'm feeling sick. I knew they were jealous. They wanted Nikki too. It wasn't my fault I get all the ladies, including Mace Windu's mom. But that's another story. No, I want to know that story. I glared at the weakling. I'm sorry that you feel that way about myself, but no one is going to stop me. Mace Windu and Obi-Wan glared at me. Take us back now, they cried. I snickered as I lifted myself and scrambled into the pilot's cockpit. It's too late. The Jedi Order is in ruins, and you two losers are stuck with me, I cackled, fumbling with the controls. Their jaws dropped open. Okay, so Chapter 2, Obi-Wan's point of view. I get kidnapped and enslaved by Yoda. Today was an interesting day. Too interesting, and disgusting, weird, and creepy. Okay, here's what happened. Is he writing this in like a diary or something? Like, who is he talking to? I was listening to my Justin Bieber playlist in my suite when all of a sudden Master Yoda knocks on my door. Naturally, I answered it. Then he kidnapped me and dragged me down somewhere. I couldn't quite get over the fact that me, a grown man, got kidnapped by Yoda. Sometime afterwards, he also kidnapped Mace Windu, and we were taken into his ship. So technically, I'm stuck on a ship with two of the most powerful Jedi Masters in the Order, and one psycho one, listening to Starships by Nicki Minaj. Thanks to Yoda's crazy obsession, I have confirmed that I have officially lost faith in the Jedi Order. I love how, like, the Clone Wars show made it its goal to kind of show both sides of the war, and like its perspective was like war bad, like the Jedi Order has become corrupt.
That we've so lost our way that we have become villains in this conflict.
The Republic is near bankruptcy due to the cost of this war.
Right now, people on Coruscant need us.
No, the Chancellor needs you.
That's not fair.
But what made Obi-Wan turn from the Jedi Order and lose faith in it was Yoda's obsession with Nicki Minaj. Her power. Wow. Mwah. Chapter 3, Yoda, the attraction of the power of love. We arrived in New York City at about 10 p.m. at night. Is there something up with the number 10? Thoughts. By then, we had just finished listening to all of Nicki Minaj's albums that we had purchased for a total of $500. $500? I'm also impressed with Yoda, you know. He's doing his research, his preparation. I forced Obi-Wan and Mace Windu out of the spacecraft when we crash landed behind a tree in Central Park. Wait, they're in New York, it just clicked with me. It takes longer to like fly from here to like Brazil than from Coruscant to Earth. Master Yoda, why is our ship on fire? Obi-Wan asked. I clutched on tightly to my loads of Nicki Minaj posters and screeched at him. Shut up, will you not? I rasped at him as the carbon dioxide began to invade my 800-year-old respiratory system. I began to cough up ashes. Oh no! Yoda's gonna die! Yoda, are you alright? You look like you're about to throw up, Mace Windu asked me, his stupid face filled with concern. Yeah, people who show concern for their peers are so stupid. Instead of replying, I vomited all over the grass. Ugh, sick I feel. I feel sick. Obi-Wan jumped up excitedly. Oh no, he's sick. Let's go home, shall we? He asked, trying to drag me back onto the spaceship. Unfortunately, that was when the ship completely collapsed from the tree and blew up into oxygen bits into the air. What are oxygen bits? Very convenient, you know? There's no way back. Are they stuck on Mace Windu and Obi-Wan's jaws dropped to the ground? Our ship! Mace Windu began to weep in front of the dying tree. Last Jedi parallels. I'd like to think that Rian Johnson read this story and was inspired. I whacked his butt with my cane. Cry you not, I screeched. He clenched his fists. Will you shut up? He turned to Obi-Wan, who was looking quite worried now. We seriously need to find shelter now. Our master has gone completely nuts, and we have no food and supplies. I looked down at my posters, and the possibility of me and Nicki Minaj going out on a date crossed my tiny green brain. We need to find Nicki, I pounced on top of Obi-Wan, and he threw me off of himself. I am your master! You obey my commands, do you hear? I slapped him across the face with my cane. He rubbed his bruised cheek and shot Mace Windu a desperate look, but Mace was lost for words. Mace, you coward. Okay, fine. We will take you to see Nicki Minaj, and then we are going straight. Do you hear me, master? Obi-Wan told me sternly. I planted a big fat Yoda kiss on each of their cheeks. Love you, I do, I screeched as they wiped the lipstick stain off their cheeks. I have a strange passion for wearing lipstick. It's a manly thing. I love how Yoda and Obi-Wan kind of had this kind of mom and child relationship. Yoda's the troubled child. Yoda's the one that always makes the mom cry and kind of makes her regret having kids. And then Obi-Wan is the mom. And I love that dynamic. I'm so here for this. Before heading to the mall, we made sure to rob a bank along the way there. We threatened the workers with our lightsabers and we received more $400 trillion from that place. If we're gonna eat the rich, we're gonna have to eat Yoda too. So I wasn't really concerned about our budget when we went shopping at the mall. Hold up. Was Obi-Wan and Mace Windu kind of like okay with this? Like, at the end, I forced Obi-Wan and Mace Windu to wear a matching plain black suit that old people usually wear. Parentheses, I am not old. While I wore a bright green suit with my gold chains. Isn't he already green though? Won't that like disrupt the whole vibe that he's giving off? Well, I'm not dressing up in black, but I can dress Yoda in his green outfit. That's worth lots of money. Well, I don't have gold too, but I have this thing. It's like a keychain or something. We also bought other clothes at Belstaff and Hugo Boss and any other brand name stores that were insanely expensive. Money was not a concern. Yeah, I was about to say that because I've never heard of any of those stores. Maybe it's because I'm broke, isn't it? Finally, we stole a man's cell phone to Google where Nicki Minaj is having her next concert. Is Obi-Wan and Mace okay with this? I feel like they stopped caring. Master, you're in luck. She's gonna be performing at Star Club at 11:30 p.m. in New York City. That's today. Joy swept through my heart at the mention of her name. Obi-Wan's jaw dropped open. How was that even possible? I tossed the phone into a trash can and picked up a blonde hair wig that was lying on the ground. I have that. Now, it probably meant a boy wig. But, shut up, will you not? I screeched at him. He shrugged and pocketed his lightsaber. Come on, I've got us a limo to the club. It's waiting for us down the street. How did he do that? After a couple of minutes, a sleek black BMW limo that was engraved Master Yoda in fancy handwriting pulled up in front of us. I am touched, I told them. They both grunted as we hopped in. BMW people? Or after driving for 5 minutes, I was beginning to lose my patience. Our chauffeur, aka our servant, our chauffeur pulled up in front of a large sparkling complex that said Star Nightclub in bright neon lights. We are here. Patience, remember? Obi-Wan reminded me. He got out of the limo and made our way to the entrance. The front desk man who was in charge looked at us weirdly. Maybe it was because of my good looks or something. Fortunately, Obi-Wan did his mind trick and we were able to sneak in easily. Before I knew it, we were in. We sat down at an empty table and in the front and waited for Nicki Minaj to make her dashing, oh my god. Nicki Minaj sprang out from behind the curtains and everyone started clapping and cheering. She began to rap to Starships when all of a sudden her splendid brown eyes gazed into mine. She dropped the microphone and blushed. Whoops. Sorry, she laughed. Obi-Wan and Mace Windu's jaws dropped once again. That was not possible, Obi-Wan stuttered. When Nicki began to beam down at me, I knew Nicki Minaj was in love with me. And that's the end of the chapter. Someone commented, this should be considered illegal in the UK. Just saying. What does that even mean? Chapter 4. Obi-Wan. Someone save me from this insanity. If someone forced me to list out all of the most terrible things that happened during my lifetime, I would have to write out the unpleasant and mentally disturbing relationship between Yoda and Nicki Minaj. After the night that Nicki Minaj first laid eyes on Master Yoda, they have been going out on numerous dates. Unfortunately, I am predicting their relationship isn't going to last very long, since Nicki Minaj seems to also be hitting on Mace Windu and me. The plot thickens. And, not to mention, that the Jedi Order and the entire galaxy is in chaos. So is all this just Yoda's like midlife crisis and he's tired of the war? One look at one of those fancy TVs and I can see a Jedi Ace fighter zooming across the moon on some of those news channels. So yeah, they are broadcasting across the entire galaxy. I am so sick of listening to Starships and Only that I know the next time I hear those songs, I'm literally going to go absolutely nuts. I feel like this is kind of the author speaking for a sec. I feel like she's projecting. Someone please help me. I'm going to go insane if their relationship continues on anymore. Obi-Wan's just a hater. He's just jealous. You know.
Chapter 4. Yoda, helplessly in love.
Nicki Minaj and me have been dating for approximately 17 hours. And I have finally concluded that I am going to simply marry her. I am sure the Jedi Masters in Order wouldn't mind they will. Yeah, like it's the Yoda backwards speech. I decided to confess my profound feelings for Nikki to Obi-Wan and Mace Windu. You want to what? Obi-Wan cried when I told him about my plans. I swallowed down my 5th double cheeseburger. Marry her, I will, I shrieked angrily. Mace Windu shook his head in disgust. You just met her. Are you nuts? I slammed the cheeseburgers onto the hotel floor and screeched in annoyance. Master, it's against the Jedi Code of Conduct to marry someone, Obi-Wan quietly reminded me. I kicked his butt and screeched again. I don't care. Mace Windu and Obi-Wan eyed each other. Tell me you're kidding, right? Mace Windu asked. Obi-Wan nodded in agreement. Please be joking, Master. This is a very serious matter. I pretended to laugh, but I ended up coughing. Do I look like I'm joking? I'm dying of love, for Pete's sake, I huffed angrily. Obi-Wan raised an eyebrow. You look very much alive to us. Weren't you saying he was dying? I kicked him again. Bah! And tore out through the hotel's door, screaming, Shut up, peasants! Chapter 5, Yoda, Telephone Love. After the heated argument with Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, I decided to call Nikki with the cell phone I had just stole from the hotel manager. Okay. New cell phone, I guess. Nikki! I squealed into the microphone when she picked up. I could hear muffling in the background. Whoa. OMG, is that Mr. Yoda? She asked, immediately recognizing my sexy Yoda voice. I could feel my green cheeks blush. Me it is. Where are you? I think we could have a get-together. I bring my friends, you bring your Jedi boy... Oh my god, boyfriend. You bring your Jedi bodyguards. Is that okay? She asked. A get-together? Yes! Excellent! What a sexy lady. Yes! I will bring my servants, I replied, agreeing wholeheartedly. Servants? I mean bodyguards. I glanced over at Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, who were looking down sheepily at me from the hotel's windows above. Let's meet up at the Love Club, where we can express our feelings for one another, I suggested. Nikki began to snicker. Oh! Her beautiful laughter echoing through the cracked screen of an old-fashioned 1999 cell phone. Isn't she rich? Yes, of course. Goodbye, my sexy Master Yoda, she googled before hanging up. Master, I'm afraid you have gone too far with the love affair with Nicki Minaj. It needs to end now, Mace Windu told me, reaching for his lightsaber. I screeched at them as the anger rushed out through my skull and into my bloodstream. Uh-oh. Master, please. This is for your own good. It isn't healthy, Obi-Wan protested. What's not healthy? I shot back. How dare they insult me and Nikki's love for one another? That an 800-year-old Jedi Master, alien from another galaxy, is dating a young, pretty, gorgeous human singer like Nicki Minaj, Obi-Wan said angrily. I think there's a love triangle going on. Ooh. Did those idiots just call me old? I felt the hate consume me as I began to lose control of my patience and calmness. Ah! I rasped as I slapped Obi-Wan and Mace Windu in the face. The blow from my assault left them sobbing on the hotel's dirty carpet floor. I pulled back Mace Windu's bald head. Now listen to me, you peasant. You will obey all of my orders or I will abandon you on this planet, I threatened him. Obi-Wan began crying. Please. Please, Master, this is basically child abuse. I slapped him again. You are a grown man, for goodness sake. The two Jedi picked themselves up and stared solemnly at me. Tell us the plan, and then we are going home, Mace Windu told me.
Yo, it's not funny. It's really not funny.
Chapter 6, Escaping Jail. Warning, contains graphic materials that is not suitable for the 80s and up population. Huh. There is only one person that knows New York City the best. To be continued! Yeah, last updated in 2018. But apparently people are still reading it. In May. And she said she's gonna come back. There's so much I want to see. There's so much that needs to follow up on. The Obi-Wan, Nikki, Yoda love triangle. What's up with Nikki? Is she cheating on Yoda? Is Yoda gonna die? What's up with Mace Windu and the lack of lines? Is there something that the author has against Mace Windu? There's so much that needs to be unpacked, that needs to be covered. I can't wait for more slapping and more kicking in the butt of Obi-Wan and Mace Windu, but no Nicki Minaj. I hope you don't come to that. No. I can't wait for one more costume change of Mr. Yoda. What is he gonna wear now? What is he gonna wear to impress Miss Nicki Minaj? Is there gonna be another rapper that other Star Wars universe characters fall in love with? Is C-3PO gonna fall in love with Megan Thee Stallion?
I see your point, sir.
Is who else? Is Apor gonna fall in love with Cardi B? There's so much potential here in this universe. And I can't wait for all of this to be introduced into the canon.